seasonal SEO mastery boosts your holiday sales. And I will also say, like, having seen this presentation in advance, is that you can take these things and make sure that you're applying this, I want to say, throughout your year as well. But these are things that to keep in mind for your business as we are getting into the holiday season, but also for seasonal businesses too. My name is Jeffrey Brown. I'm going to be your host for the day. So I'm not going to be talking the entire time. We're going to be having our senior SEO specialist, Sarah Munoz-Bates, go through these three amazing parts of our presentation today. And really, yes, you'll get a link of the recording afterwards, Gail, and it will also be up on our YouTube channel as well. So be on the lookout for that. And it will be on our landing page on the GoDaddy resources. So we have a whole guide to your holiday marketing ready for you right there as well. And yeah, just want to say a huge thank you one to Sarah for taking time out of her day to be with us for a little bit, but also to go over these amazing topics. The role of benefits of seasonal SEO, tactics to optimizing your website for the holiday rush, and last but not least, techniques to boost organic traffic and visibility. Again, just want to say thank you so much for being here today for this webinar. And I'm going to actually turn it over to Sarah to introduce herself, and we're going to start going through the webinar. Sarah?
Yeah, as Jeffrey said, my name is Sarah Munoz-Bates. I'm an SEO specialist here at GoDaddy. I've been doing SEO since about 2007, been at GoDaddy for about 10 years now. So excited to talk with you about seasonal SEO today. And then once we get through the slides, it'd be great, I think, if we have Q&A time to be able to answer specific questions, maybe your specific business, see how the seasonal SEO, what we learned today, goes into play in real life, basically. So Jeffrey, if you want to go to the next slide. So according to adword.com, about 81% of all purchases begin with an online search. So that means if you're ranking in the search engine results, you're more likely to grab those customers who are performing those searches. So SEO, or search engine optimization, is basically the work that goes into your website to help you rank and help you appear for those searches. If your site is well optimized, you're more likely to show up in the relevant search results that relate to your business, your products. SEO is a combination of what we call both on-page and off-page factors. So the on-page factors, we're looking at things like copy, design, the interlinking between the pages on your site. And then the off-page factors are things like other sites linking to you, sending trust signals to Google about your site. Next slide. So to understand SEO, it helps to understand how the search engines work. Some examples of search engines are Google, Bing, if you remember back in the day, Yahoo. Other countries have their own, like Russia has Yandex, or we have Baidu in China. But while they all have unique ways in which they work, they basically work the same, which is that they go out, they crawl websites and pages across the web, they organize these websites as content by factors such as relevance, popularity, intent. And then when a user performs a search, they return results based on the search query they receive. And the goal of the search engine basically is to provide the best answer, the best result for the user. They want to have a good user experience. They want people to come back and keep using them for their own benefit. And so producing the best sites in the search results helps the search engine as well as the user. We can go to next slide. So we know that every business is different. You'll have different ebbs and flows over the course of a year. And seasonal SEO can help you address these ebbs and flows. So maybe you've been in business for a while, you know, I'm expecting increased activity. If you're, an accountant in tax season, you know that is your season to have increased activity. And if you're just getting your business started, maybe you're not sure when your precise moments will be, but you can be like, hey, I know I have a product that will probably do well around Christmas time or around 4th of July or something, whatever specific holiday or event that you have. So seasonal SEO helps you consider these moments in time and how you can best prepare your site and optimize your site to appear during these times. And a lot of people, it break this into two things. You have general time-based or season-based. So we're looking at spring, summer, winter, fall. So summer products during the summer, winter products, fall clothing, etc. during those seasons. They're not tied to a specific event, though they can often be related to. And then you have specific event-based moments like Christmas, Halloween, Black Friday. Your events will depend on where you're located geographically. My husband's from Mexico. They have like a Children's Day in Mexico. So like if you have a different audience in a different geographic location, you might have something that looks different than businesses that are located or serving people here in the States. But basically, seasonal SEO has the same purpose as regular SEO, but it's looking at these specific events. It's looking at searches that occur around these events and these seasons, and then helping you optimize for them accordingly. And the great thing about this is that we know when these seasons are going to happen. We know when these events are going to happen, so we can prepare accordingly. Okay, so we can go next slide. Part of preparing accordingly is here it's starting off with 5 to 6 months. Maybe you're just getting started. I would sit down, look at your calendar for the entire year, and figure out what are the events that you think are most relevant to you, the seasons most relevant to you, and then start planning back from those moments. So ideally, 5 to 6 months prior, you can start doing research and planning. Now, you might think, well, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, they're not 5 or 6 months out. Am I already too far behind? They say with investing, the best time to invest was yesterday. The next best time is today. So even if you haven't gotten started yet, starting now will put you in a better place than if you wait until next year, for example. So still encourage you, even if you want to target these holidays, to start moving ahead and planning. And once again, that starts with research and planning, figuring out what keywords you want to target. So the search intent, the buying journey of your users. So for example, if you're selling a product that could make a good Christmas gift, you would keep in mind that people might start searching for gift ideas a couple months before Christmas for the people who are well planned, even further back than that, or sometimes in the weeks up ahead of Christmas, versus other holidays are known for people doing more last minute searches, such as Valentine's Day. It's closer to the event. People aren't searching for it so far in advance as they might be for Christmas. If this is your first time doing this, if you're not planned for seasonal before and you're not really quite sure where to start, a great place to start is just looking at your competitors and see if they have seasonal campaigns and pages that they've run in the past. And not that you're going to copy exactly what they're doing, but it's a good place to get some ideas and realize, oh, okay, yes, that makes sense. I can apply this idea to my business, or this might work for me. I'll just adjust it appropriately. And then once you have the idea, the calendar set out, these are the seasons, these are events I'm going for, these are the keywords I think people are going after, you're going to start creating and uploading content. You want to do this well before the event occurs, specifically for what we consider your primary landing page for the moment. So let's say you have, you want to create a Black Friday deal page. You don't want to publish that page 1 week before Black Friday because you wouldn't expect that to be ranking by then. With SEO, it's a marathon, as I say, not a sprint. So things take time to get crawled, work its way through the rankings. So you want to have that in mind, and you'll publish the page well planned, well thought out as soon as you can before the event. So that could be a few months before, and then it obviously wouldn't let people have the Black Friday deals then, but you have an optimized title, you have the page optimized for Black Friday keywords around your products, and then you can say, expect these deals to go live at whatever time Black Friday, or the day before, like maybe your deals start on Thursday, Black Friday, and basically people can go to that page or be aware of that page before the event starts, but the page is there. Now, it's important to have this page because if you're just creating a page and pulling it down every year, that's not gaining value to rank in the search engines over time. So having that page up and then just adjusting it over the course of the year, like this is pre-event, this is the event, this is post-event, look out for our sales next year. That page will gain an SEO value and hopefully visibility each and every year. So the work you do this year will help you next year, which will help you the following year. In addition to creating that page, though, you want to plan content in this 4 to 3 months beforehand, content and copy that will support this page. This could be blog posts talking about your page. For instance, you might say, okay, I want to do a countdown basically to Black Friday. So we'll say the 10 days before Black Friday, we'll do a blog post that each blog post will feature the top product that will have like one of the steepest discounts on our Black Friday. And so you'll post those blog posts as a countdown to that event. It'll be pointing to the Black Friday page, and it builds up to that. Then you can promote those posts on social media, promote your Black Friday page on social media, but you're planning out these social media posts. You're planning out and writing these blog posts well in advance so that when the moment comes to publish them, they're lined up, they're ready to go. You're not scrambling at the last minute to create this copy. And this helps you gain brand awareness and hopefully get engagement. And then when we're looking at the actual engagement period, that's kind of like what I was talking about, like that, like you maybe have a countdown 10 days before, you're building up, you're doing conversions, and then the post season, that evergreen page that you created stays there, but you just adjust it to say, hey, Black Friday 2024 was a great time. Looking forward for Black Friday 2025. Keep an eye for special offers throughout the year, or sign up for our email. Like, just adjust the page. You don't delete everything, but you adjust the copy and content of your main primary page to address that, this deal's not going on right now, but it will be in the future if it's a very event specific page like that, like Black Friday. And then the benefits of seasonal SEO is that it can hopefully maximize your visibility to customers. So once again, as we're talking about, year over year, the work you do will build on itself for that primary landing page. Social media posts, blog posts, you have to do on a regular basis, but this primary landing page will build value over time. In addition, the benefit of seasonal SEO is that it's predictable. We know when these events are happening. We know when these seasons are happening, and we can plan accordingly. In addition, targeted content typically converts people better than just a general page. So if you're creating a page that's specific to their search, specific to Black Friday or what Mother's Day or whatever the event is, then that aligns with the user's search. They're more likely to convert and have a better experience on your page than a general landing page, which will then hopefully lead to higher traffic and conversion rates for you. Okay, we can go to next slide. This slide is just showing basically how different products experience different trends and seasonality. So what you have could be completely different from what someone else experiences, right? This top one is showing a peak in February around like flowers and chocolate keywords, versus the bottom one is around October for costumes. Totally makes sense. You need to figure out what the seasonality is for your product or service. So I mentioned tax season earlier. If you're an accountant, so you'd be looking up leading up to April, things getting a little crazy or having an increase in searches around what you offer around that time. July, August, we're looking at summer things, sunscreen, sunglasses, back to school events more in the fall. In November, people are gearing up not only for Thanksgiving, but they're looking towards Christmas and the New Year. So there's just each business, some businesses will benefit from more holiday things like at end of year. Others will have completely different schedule depending on the product or service you offer. Next. Okay, so now we're going to go into tactics to optimize. First, we recommend, before getting into the tactics, kind of laying the groundwork. You want to have a way to track your organic search and see what is successful for your site and what is not working for your site. So we recommend installing Google Analytics on your site. It's a free tool. In conjunction with Search Console, we'll be sending out a list of these resources afterwards, so it's easy for you to find the links. But basically, Google Analytics shows the traffic coming to your site, lets you see conversions, shows you low performing keywords versus high performing keywords. So like, people who come to my site with these keywords don't tend to convert. Maybe I shouldn't focus on them as much. People who come to with these other keywords convert really well. Maybe this is my sweet spot. This is the keywords I should be targeting. Or maybe you're looking at those low performing keywords and saying, those keywords really describe my product and business. Why are these people not converting? What's not resonating on my site? And it can help you problem shoot on how to improve your site. Maybe you need to work on the experience of getting people to the cart, different aspects that can help people lead through your site or get them to contact you if you're offering a service and they need to call you. I think next slide. So this is a quick checklist. First, you would, oh no, did I get a slide ahead? Well, the last one was a checklist. I think I'm a slide, but there it is. Okay. You would create an account with Google Analytics and set it up. Now, if you're using a website builder, this should typically be something that is part of the process when you were creating your website with your website builder. I know that's the case with GoDaddy's Websites Plus Marketing product, and I'm pretty sure that's the case with many website builders in the market. So regardless of the website builder you're using, it should potentially already be set up in your site. If not, it's easy to create an account with Google, and then you can they explain to you step by step how to get the code onto your site. Once you have it installed, you want to have a list of goals that you make. So what are you measuring success by? Are you looking for conversions, people buying a product? Are you looking for improving engagement on the pages? And if so, what does that mean? Does that mean you want to see a large, the page time on the site increase? Maybe you have an informational site and you're expecting people to stay a certain amount of time on a page and read and learn the information you're presenting. Maybe you're looking to lower the bounce rate. So when people come and leave your site without visiting another page, you want to get that at a lower, have them visiting more than one page on your site. You determine what kind of engagement and goals you're working towards. And then in analytics, you can set up weekly, monthly reports. If it's set up through your website builder, often the website builders will just pull the analytics into the own website builder dashboard, so you don't have to go to the analytics account separately to check on these things. It's all just where you manage your website. Okay, and then we can go to the next page. Now, within that, we're wanting to create SEO-friendly pages. This is across the board, whether it's for seasonal SEO or just your regular web pages. Here it shows a breakdown of like, when you're looking at search results, that blue link at the top is the title of the page that you choose typically, and then Google is showing that, and the meta description is the description that appears underneath that. The title is important for Google understanding the page and for determining how to rank your site. It's one of the many elements they look at. So you want to make sure to have your keyword in there and your main product, your main service, what you're pushing. And the meta description isn't so much a factor in ranking, but it can encourage people to click through to your site. So it's still really important. So for instance, with the meta description, you want to be thoughtful about including maybe an offer or something that distinguishes you from your competitors. So maybe you create a product that is handmade or handcrafted in a little niche where there's not a lot of handcrafted products. And so you can put handcrafted lovingly, something like that in your description. Or you offer free shipping on orders over $30, or you offer a first consult is free, things like that. Put like a thing to grab people and encourage them to click to pull them into your site. And this, once again, if you're using a website builder or if you're not, these are elements that you should be able to easily edit and adjust on your website, so you can include the keywords, you can optimize them accordingly. If you want to go to the next slide. So the first step, though, in optimizing, though, is identifying the keywords that are relevant to your business. So how are people actually searching for your products and goods, and not what you like. Well, let's see. Like here I have a silicone cupcake mold that I use to put little snacks in. But this is what it is. It's a silicone cupcake mold. But let's just say that for my site, I produce these, I make these, and I call them cupcake huggies. Well, if all I do is optimize my site for cupcake huggies, people aren't searching for that. So I'm going to miss out on all the traffic for people who are searching for silicone cupcake molds or liners. And because I haven't optimized my site for that, I've optimized for what I think is my clever product name. Instead, I need to identify how people are actually searching and then optimize site accordingly. I can still use my clever little name. I can have my title be something like Cupcake Huggies dash affordable silicone cupcake molds, or reusable silicone cupcake, something, you know, whatever my descriptor is that I feel like will set me apart for the title, reusable, eco-friendly, affordable, put that in the title. So I'm still including my product name, but then I'm also optimizing for the keyword that people are actually searching for. So you put yourself in the place of the consumer, you consider how they are searching for your products and services, and then you try to figure out how your product and service sells it to be like that descriptor that stands out in the title, that sets you apart from the competitors that are ranking as well. Like, why should someone click on your results and your service or your product over the other competitors listed in the search results? All right, next slide. Oh, no. And then if you feel stuck, you're like, well, I think that people search for things this way, but I'm not 100% sure. One, we will be providing you a list of resources to different free keyword tools that you can use to help with keyword research. And hopefully we'll have some time at the end of the call to maybe walk through some of that keyword process. But you can also look at your competition, as we mentioned before, with the seasonal landers or whatnot. But see who's ranking, what keywords are they using, what kind of pages have they created? Is it relevant to what you're doing or not? So the idea, once again, is not to copy what they're doing and just implement it on your site, but to just get ideas, um, avoid any brain blocks, and just say, okay, yeah, no, these are good ideas. These are ones that I think make sense. I'm going to tweak it, work it, make it applicable to my site. You can use tools like SpyFu to look at competitors, see what kind of keywords they're using. But once again, do this with a grain of salt, because keep in mind, maybe you haven't gotten to SEO and maybe they haven't either. So maybe what they're doing is actually not a good thing to do, but you can typically tell. And someone just made a comment, see what they've missed, because sometimes, yes, other competitors aren't doing everything, and you can see an opportunity like, oh, I see that like all my competitors have a page around X, Y, or Z, but no one has it on ABC. So I'll fill in that gap. Or very few people have it on ABC. So, okay, I think we can go to next. Another aspect of SEO is to design for mobile. Google has what they call a mobile first index, which means that it prioritizes the mobile version of a website over the desktop version. This means you need to have parity between the two. So your mobile experience should be a good, pleasant mobile experience, but your desktop site should be basically pretty much the same. It should, like, mobile shouldn't be very little copy, and then people get to your desktop version and it's a gray swath of text, overwhelming. So there should be parity. This mostly, if you're using a website builder, this probably isn't something you need to worry about, as most website builders are already making now sites that are mobile friendly, they're responsive, and they're built with mobile in mind. But you can keep in mind things like looking at page load time, and make sure your images are compressed. Sometimes the site builders will also compress images and use smaller file sizes for you, but confirm that it's doing that. If not, then you can compress the images yourself before you upload them, and that gives a faster mobile experience and a better mobile experience to users. And check it out. Check out your own site on your phone, and different versions of your phones. Have friends, family check it out, because maybe your buttons are too small for people's fingers and people just can't click on the button when they're on their phone because it's just too small. Like, ensure that even though that your website builder has made it responsive so that it fits in the mobile space, that the elements of your site also work on mobile as expected, and in a user-friendly way. Okay, I think we can go to next. Okay, so we're just going to be looking at some ways to create customized experiences to better target your audience. We've already brought up special landing pages before. I was calling them an evergreen page. So we mentioned the Black Friday page. You would update accordingly, like sales on now. Then you change the content to be like looking forward to next year. Oh, look, now it's the countdown because we're getting closer. But you don't have to have a page connected to a specific holiday. Let's say that you have a product that works. People tend to buy as gifts from others. So you see peaks in sales around Mother's Day and then Christmas, because people are also looking for gifts for their mom around Christmas. So you don't want to have just a Christmas page or just a Mother's Day page. You could just have gifts for mom page, right? And then you can update that page to have like more Christmas colors or themes around that season, and to align with promotions that you might be doing on social media. And then around Mother's Day, you tweak the appearance of the page, but it's an evergreen page that you keep up that is targeted, like great gifts for mom any time of the year. And that way it's also showing up for people who are searching over the year for their mom's birthday or whatever, and it's not tied to a specific event. But at the same time, this is where you really have to consider what works for you, what works for your business. So maybe you have a product that is still for moms, but you have a Christmas version and you have a Mother's Day version. It's not something that you'd want to feature the product on just a general page. So it might make sense for you to create a separate Christmas gifts for mom and Mother's Day gifts for mom, because you have more distinct products for those different events versus one page. So that's something, knowing your business, knowing the product or service you offer. Okay, is this a one-page thing that's more general, a special lander just for moms, or is this a Christmas-specific page and a Mother's Day specific page? And then once again, promoting these through social media, email, getting visibility, especially as the events approach and people are expecting that. Okay, we can do next slide. One thing to supplement SEO, because SEO it does take time, as mentioned before. And so you have to be on the ball. Like at this point, if you were to publish a page to target Black Friday or Thanksgiving products, you might not be ranking well or have great visibility by the time it rolls around this year. Though if you start doing it this year, by next year you would expect much better visibility. So to supplement that, though, to help gain visibility while you're waiting for your page to move up in organic rankings, paid ads are often recommended. So you can run holiday specific Google ads, or you can Facebook, Instagram. These social media platforms are great for showing ads to a very targeted demographic. So you could say, well, I know my audience, my main customer is between the ages of 24 and 34, so I'm going to show to that group. And by creating these very specific targeted ads to this very specific demographic that you know as your audience, you'll have higher conversion rates from these ads and perform better, have better success with the ads than if you just put on the platform like, oh, show this ad to everybody who's on the platform. It might not make sense, and then you would have lower conversion rates and not see a great return on that. But if you target your demographic specifically and well, then it can be a great way to drive traffic to your site as you're waiting for your organic presence to get into place. All right, doing the next slide. Another thing you can do is create digital coupons. They provide instant value to shoppers sending out promo codes, and they can be a way you can increase engagement on your site at any time of the year by sending out promo codes to existing customers, and you're trying to get through a slump in the year, you send out the promo codes. But they could also be a way, as getting more people to your site and engaging with your site as you approach a specific season. We mentioned the Mother's Day, and like if you have a product for Mother's Day and Christmas, you send out promo codes leading up to Christmas, leading up to Mother's Day, encouraging people to buy their products from you and not from someone else. But you want to keep in mind when you do promo codes, obviously, that you're still keeping your own profitability. You don't want to have promo codes and then to a point that it's hurting your business because it's at a price point that doesn't keep you profitable. So being smart about it, effectively implementing digital coupons can be a great way to get social engagement, both on social media. You can send them through email and then drive traffic to your site. Next. Oh, we're at Q&A time. So I don't know if there are specific questions I would be more than happy to answer, or if we want to take a look at, well, Jeffrey, what's your thought?
I was about to say if I can even talk today, oh my gosh, probably I shouldn't. I was going to say there is one from Kaba that had left a question in the Q&A box, but yes, use the Q&A box if you have any questions. Love that everyone's been very active in the chat, and Sarah's provided not only great examples, but also just explained things in ways that I've even learned more things today. And so thank you, Sarah, for doing an awesome job of just breaking everything down and doing it in a way that's very understandable. But Kaba asks, GoDaddy SEO for local NGO donations.
Well, it's hard to give specific, an NGO can be many types of organizations, right? So is it possible? Oops, sorry, I muted myself and I didn't mean to. Is it possible to get an example? Do you have a website that I could look at the NGO and we can get an idea what's it about? And then are you looking then at SEO? You're trying to see how you do seasonal SEO to improve donations around the holiday season? What is Kaba still here to give an example of the website or URL? And then we also have a question, as we wait for Kaba to respond, do you have, or can you share with me real estate websites that you recommend? So I'm assuming that you mean because real estate websites work specifically, is it called the MLS, the database that they pull from, that they're often companies that work specifically with real estate, with realtors to help build out sites, and that pull from the MLS system. Off the top of my head, I'm not familiar with real estate specific providers. However, with a real estate website in general, so I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, so assuming that your product is, and I get about 12 people, I have arrows on it, but I think this is true. Okay, so you will often get people who what they do is they'll just run your website through a tool and they'll say you have X number of errors and blah blah blah. But it's like a tool that's telling them they're just trying to get you to buy something. If you want, like, we could take a look at your website. If we could plop it, if people want to drop their website in, I'm more than willing to kind of do a little live audit because I think that helps. It helps you understand the processes we go through. But then, Jeffrey, I would need to share my screen. I don't know if I can do that, or you would need to do the screen movement for me. Okay, you're on mute.
Gosh,
Okay.
I just realized that. I was about to say, I think you are able to
Okay,
share.
I am pulling that up. All right, perfect. So I'm going to grab Dagmar Sands here. Okay. First of all, just looking at the website, I would say visually it looks like an older website. The heading on the top, that could be off-putting to some people. They're looking for a more modern look feel. I mean, the images look fine and pretty, but just like this design looks a little older. But also just looking at the titles, we will send out a list of the like tools and resources you can use. So this thing I'm clicking on is listed in the tool and resources. You have Dagmar Sands, Real Estate International, Atlanta Real Estate. So Dagmar Sands is your name. You probably, unless you are so well known in your community and area and you're not really trying to stand out from other realtors, because people know you by name and they specifically say, I want this person to be my realtor, then I wouldn't put that at the beginning of your title. And I would probably start like you're looking at Atlanta real estate. If it's mostly Atlanta, like which is your priority, international or Atlanta? If it's Atlanta, put that at the beginning. Atlanta real estate. Trust Dagmar Sands to sell your home or whatever. Like, do you help more people with selling or buying or both? You could have a selling page, a buying page. Your description is kind of just I don't want to be graphic, but it seems like a word vomit of keywords versus trying to get people to like, why should they go to you? Like, I have over 30 years of experience, trusted by X, Y, like whatever BBB rating. What makes you stand out? This is just a bunch of keywords that wouldn't convince me to click through if I were on the search result. So these people who are sending you things, saying, hey, there's problems with your site, they're probably referencing that. There's things to clean up. It looks like you have an idea of like what your keywords kind of are, but you need to, for your homepage, you want your general catch-all. What is your main focus? What is your main goal? Is it Georgia? Is it Atlanta? Is it international? Make that the main focus of your homepage. And then that you would build out pages to each of those. Like, and you do have community pages, which is good, but your title isn't optimized. Well, I thought that was a community page. No, that just kind of, I thought this was going to be a link. No, this is just a link to the homepage. So if you have specific communities, like by city, you could build out pages for this. You could have an Atlanta page that then shows listings for it specific to Atlanta or whatnot, and then have the title optimized for Atlanta, have the description, like, and then you could actually like even have like our most recent Atlanta sale was this, or we just helped this opponent. Like, these are great blog posts to say, hey, or social media posts like, hey, we just got this guy's house in Atlanta, and then drives people to look in your web. So create uh, create pages around each community, clean up the title tags and the descriptions to be more engaging and not just keyword dumps, but on each specific page. And let's see. And then you could go to, like, this is a tool we'll give to you, but you could look and like see search volume around that. This is free, so you're like limited for how much you can see, but it's a good tool to get started with. And then you can see, okay, this has more than 1,000 searches. People, maybe you want to include agent, like Atlanta real estate, Dagmar, whatever, real, like trusted agent, something like that, like work agent into the title, target this keyword. So that's just an idea of how to do keyword. Look at your competitors. I'm sure you have some competitors in the Atlanta area that are probably killing it at their SEO for real estate. And then, okay, Jeffrey, do you want me to scroll through the questions, or do you want to prioritize which ones I go after?
Let me go down. I know that someone also wanted to have you look at their website as well. That was in the comments.
Somebody said SEO for business launch, handmade goods, shirts, cups, etc. Is that the one, or? And then Gary's asking about an ebook. Can you have people buy your book as well? So the person who, Priscilla, if you want to drop, well, you don't have, it looks like you're looking to launch your business. Handmade goods is, I mean, it's very general. So if that's what you offer is handmade goods, then like what kind of goods? Like wood crafts, different, like it's very like probably more specific than just handmade goods. Is it crocheted things? Is it whatnot? Or is it custom labeled, custom printed shirts maybe? So that's what you might be looking for. So so this Ahrefs was what I showed for landed real estate. This is Google Keyword Planner is another tool that will provide resources for. So let's just do, what did I say? Custom printed t-shirts. And see, I can select my area here. I'm selecting English. I'm in the United States. And then you can see that custom printed t-shirts, about 480. Custom t-shirts, so custom t-shirts has higher search, monthly search than just custom printed, which means that there's probably more competition. So sometimes you want to go after the lower search keywords because there's not as much competition going on, although it still says it's high competition. But that's something you could go and do a search and see who's there, t-shirt printing. This is also like, are you going everywhere, or are you also based in a specific region? Because sometimes t-shirt shops, custom t-shirt printing. So a lot of these, you're going to be coming up against sites that do probably drop shipping. So are you a specific, like, look, this is, since I'm in the Phoenix area, Google's bringing back Phoenix AZ t-shirt printing. Do you do a specific area you'd want to target? Then that probably in your title, because then it'd help you show up for more local searches. This is same day custom. Do you do same day custom, or you just do custom? So look, see what's showing up in your area. Are you doing more of like you ship nationwide, so you're not tied to a specific area? I don't know. So basically, you need to do research around each of those products. Make sure you have your homepage would be a general catch-all for like handmade goods. You could have that if that's what really describes it, and then you'd have a product page for each product to target those keywords. Okay, resin decor, keychains, bookmarks. So basically, Priscilla, you would want to create, research each of those keywords, resin decor, see what people are looking for within that. Like, sorry, I don't know, decor. Okay, resin decor. These are like very general. So if people are looking for more specific searches, like resin decor plates, I don't know. This is an area I am not familiar with. Okay, so here you go. Here you get some ideas. So you can see people doing different searches around resin wall art. And so maybe you have a page about wall art, and then you're optimizing for that versus just general resin decor is a little general, but maybe that's good for your homepage. Resin Christmas ornaments. So doing your keyword research will help you figure out specific areas that people are going after, or if you have specific products, statues, ornaments, whatever, create around candle holders. So there's a decent around specific products, there's decent search instead of just having the general resin decor. And then the more targeted the page, as we discussed with seasonal SEO, the more targeted the page, the better you should expect conversions, because people are expecting to find a resin ornament when they, if you create a resin ornament page and you show up for that search, versus general resin decor. What am I going to get? Am I going to get a candle holder? Am I going to get wall art? What am I going to get? Let's see. And then Gary had a question. Then, can you have people buy your ebook as well as allow them to buy an email? I wouldn't know why. Yeah, I mean, I would think that that's perfectly legit to sell your ebook, but then you could also, people can pass a code along that allows someone else to download it. Gotcha. Oh, a children's book offer who wants to sell more books, not just my services. All right, so opening this website. So first off, looking at this Storytime, Maria Ashworth. So the question is, Are there specific kinds of children's books? Okay, picture books. See, that's great. So story time, is this the name of your book? Or no, that's just this, you have a story time. Okay, so like the name of the if you're looking, like I would switch this up because you're an author. You could have like keep your name in the title, but story time is just a little general, and plus you already have a story time page, so you might have children book author Maria Ashworth, or children picture book author. Like get the children's book in there because that's probably your main keyword if you're looking to sell more books and not just your services. And then you're gonna, even if you don't have like all the books you plan to publish published yet, you're optimizing your site for children's book. And then each of these pages obviously would make sense to be okay. So this title should be the name of the book. It shouldn't be your name, and it shouldn't necessarily, the description would be used to describe the book. So the title here, I would change it to Donuts for Dad, and you could have by Maria Ashworth, or Donuts for Dad, and then have like a dash or whatever, a pipeline, a tribute to dads and blended families, something like that. So you can contain these elements. And then in the description, you mentioned this. This description is actually pretty good because it's describing the book. That's great. You want to, it's a little long. So typically for the description, you're going to have a cutoff around 150 characters. So you have to, so think like Google might only be showing that much in the search results. So often it makes sense to proactively edit your descriptions to only be 150 to 165 characters or so they don't get cut off at a weird point. And then also, but you might want to include, instead of having your name in the title and taking up space, because the title is a similar thing, you only have about 65 characters to play with that will be shown. So if you already have Donuts for Dad, a tribute to dads and blended families, that might already be taking up all your space. You could put your name, Maria Ashworth, in the description, unless you don't care about that necessarily even being in the optimization, then it'll be covered on the page. And then headers. So the heading should also, this is a bonus book series. This doesn't, once again, the heading here, so think of it like when you were back in high school or college or whenever you had to provide an outline of your paper, and you have your title, which we already discussed, right? And a brief description. And then, but with your outline, you're going to have headings that like heading, and then these are the elements under this heading, these are the elements under this heading. Your web page is the same way. You need to break this down and let Google know about the different parts of it. So this H1 is your first heading, and typically it should be kind of a repeat of the title. I wouldn't say, if your title is Donuts for Dad, a book about blended families, don't have that whole title there, but have the title of the book, Donuts for Dads. And then you could have like, what is this? Okay, so you have future award winner is an H6. So typically it should like logically make sense. The H1 is followed by an H2, which is followed by an H3. So the under your H1, like future, that's fine. Future award winner. It's not really like a keyword optimization. But maybe instead of a children's book, you could have like a children's book for blended families or something for this. So it's a more descriptive H1 or H heading tag. This is your H1, but your H1 should be the title of the book for your case, Maria. And then everything else should be supporting that, basically. And then the about page would be the one where you focus on your name, like Maria Ashworth, storytime, children's author and storytime person. I don't know if that makes sense. But then also, if there are other people that other children's book authors that you admire, whatnot, maybe check out their website, see what they're doing. But I think hopefully you got some good tips from that. Sorry, I'm scrolling through.
Dell, I'm going to drop hers in the chat really quick to bring that up to current. Liddell Carter. It's
Okay.
Royal Expression Travels, and then there's a few others in the Q&A.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting, I guess, lost between Q&A and chat. So which one should I go to?
The one in the chat that I just dropped, Liddell.
Okay. So Royal Expression Travels. Title is missing. Description is missing. So that's not good, because then Google's like, what's this page about? Guess nothing. Moving on. So you, whoops, I didn't mean to click. Okay, one thing, honestly, I don't like about this site is it takes a while for things to load. So if we could get working on load time, like we have a fancy site, but I think the fanciness is with the images and whatnot is making it be a little slow. Or maybe it's not normally like this. Maybe my internet's being funky today. But like for me, this is kind of a, like, you know, we're watching this site load. It's a little, this is something that could impact you with definitely a mobile experience and not, welcome to the best kept. I'm just trying to figure out if, how would you describe this business? I didn't see the name of the person who this belongs to. Just custom travel experiences, because that could then maybe, for your homepage, you could have for the title custom travel experiences and then the name of Royal Expression Travels.
She's
And then you'd have a description.
Liddell Carter, and she said
Liddell,
yes.
okay. Okay, so yeah, you definitely want to, and then this is, I'm sorry, a bit obnoxious that every time I go to the homepage, I get the pop-up, even though I've already been there before. So I would work on changing the website design, getting to something that is a little more just user-friendly in general. And then let's just look, if you, would you say, Liddell, that custom travel experiences is your thing? Or would you describe that in a different way? Travel. Like maybe more destination, yes, okay, or destination. So, oh, it doesn't really have a lot of search. Doesn't even mean it's a bad thing. Custom, well, let's see, custom travel experiences. And then we won't be able to get to everyone's site today, right? But the idea is that hopefully you kind of see like where I'm going, what I'm doing, and then you can kind of apply the same methodology to yours. So we're talking about private tours, planned holidays, luxury, let's try that. Pers personalized trips, personalized getaways. I don't know. I'm trying to see if it, okay, so personalized trips has higher search than custom travel experience. So that might be something, or you could, it looks like private travel agent. Okay, this is something to look into. Like if you do a specific location, consider, okay, well, I'll create a specific page. I'll create another page for Brazil, whatever. So just, you need to be thinking custom trip planner. These are searches per month, by the way. And the keyword research I'm using right now is this keyword planner. This is from Google. It's free, but the free version, I have a paid version. So it's showing me the exact numbers. The free version of keyword planner would show you a range. So, okay, this has a search of 0 to 100 searches a month versus showing me the exact 90. Also, Jeffrey should be providing you a list of resources. And when I've been clicking on this thing here, this is a Chrome extension. This is going to be provided in the list of resources as something you can add to your Chrome. I also provide in the list of resources something you can add to your Firefox browser so that you can quickly see what you currently have. Another way to quickly see what you currently have in your site is to do a site colon search. So I just do a site and then a colon and then my URL, and then Google pulls back what they have indexed for the site. Now maybe you have more pages. Maybe this is a good reflection of what you have. Maybe you have more pages, but for some reason Google isn't indexing them. That's why they're not showing up. So I can see that you have a South Africa page, but it's a little like the title is South Africa. So you should ideally do custom trips to South Africa. That should be your like whatever the thing is, whether it's luxury trip to South Africa, custom trip to South Africa. This is what your keyword research comes into, but get the custom trip or the luxury trip into that title tag. And then when I'm on the page, I want to see, it's slowly killing me by loading. Okay, I see your H1 is South Africa. Once again, the H1 should be a reflection of the title. Typically, you can shorten it down, like I mentioned with the other one, we would cut off like the descriptor about the book. We just had the book name, but here I would have custom trips to South Africa or luxury trips to South Africa. You should not have two H1s. There should be one H1 per page, and then you can have multiple H2s, H3s, etc. You have one title, one H1 per page. So you need to, I'm assuming what happened is that you wanted the same kind of visual design as what was appearing in South Africa. And so you marked up like this is like the same size or whatever, and so that's why I got the H1 markup. But it should be an H2 because it's appearing under the H1. So it should be custom trips, luxury trips to South Africa. This one could be well, that's not upcoming. This is past trips or something. Cost payments and deposits. That's fine. Like for these to be headings. But the headings, yeah, should basically like be, that's fine. What's included, what's not included. These are perfectly fine headings for the most part, except for this having the H1 markup. All right. Jeffrey, do you want me to look at anything else? Are we at time? I don't know. Are there any
We have
questions?
we have a few more minutes left. Let me go through the chat. No, thank you, y'all, for like putting this stuff in. Thank you for being active in the chat. Manda Panda, Glass by Manda. Hold on.
Is this in the chat?
It's in the Q&A, and I cannot. There it goes. I was like, I cannot copy it.
Do I just do glass by what? Manda?
I will. I just put it in the chat for you.
Okay. Here we go,
It's
guys.
a second. I'm sorry.
Okay. And then let's just grab that. We'll do another site colon, kind of like we did. When you do the site colon, you don't have the HTTPS, but I'm just wanting to get an idea of what she has for a site. Another tool that we'll link to in the resources is called Screaming Frog, and it will just crawl your site and show you everything as well. And it'll show you all the title tags and descriptions that you have for each page, which can be a great way to like, and it will crawl up to 500 pages for free, which should work for most small businesses, and it can be a great way. You download it into Excel spreadsheet, and then you can go through and update your titles and descriptions, and then put those new ones in your website. Sometimes can be an easy way to do it. Okay, last really Christmas gift ideas, cremation. Okay, so the homepage is general, which it should be. I don't know if people are buying this stuff year round. I don't know that I put a specific holiday on the homepage. Glass by Manda, uh, glass. What is this? Okay, this like handcrafted and flamed work. Okay, this I don't know how you describe everything because this is once again not something that I'm familiar with. So when you're doing what is it? Uh, hand worked glass. I want to like what are the like? Oh well, I know handcrafted fused flame works. Like I get the jewelry, home decor. I think this is mostly fine. I would take Christmas out of the title, but I feel like there's another way. Isn't there another way to describe this? You would call this glass. I can't. Hand worked glass. Hand. What's is hand blown? Isn't necessarily the same thing. Okay, so like this, I like this title. I don't know if it applies to you. I don't think your glass is necessarily hand blown, but like unique hand blown glass art by, and then like the artist name, right? So that could be help. Like the homepage, I'm okay with you having glass by Manda at the front, but typically the words that appear at the beginning of the title are considered the most important. So if you have a keyword you want to target, you would put that more at the beginning, and your name could still appear at the end, unless sometimes though like it can make sense for your name to be at the front. So on the home page I'm okay with that, but like here, like this one seems great to me. Cremation memorial keepsakes, very clear as to what it is. And then looking at the header, see, this is an example of what we do want, the H1 repeating what was in the title. And then let's look at your description. Offering cremation keepsakes with or memorial cremains. You could maybe update that, like, I don't know if there's any, I don't know if there's any kind of like offer or thing offer or something like crafted according, like, are they unique? Are they specific to like, are they custom according to each individual, or do you have a specific set of designs? I don't know if there's something else you could add to that. You could make this a little bit longer. It's only 75 characters, so you could expand to like 155 to 165 characters and still be good if you want to have something else that might encourage someone to click through. But and okay. So this one, like, it's just You could put something shop our handcrafted glass item. Like you need a more descriptive title tag here versus just glass by Amanda. But and then these are fine, like your specific product pages are fine because they specifically describe the product. So that's to be expected. And that's what you want is to have, cobalt icicle ornaments, except this isn't telling me they're glass. So you might want to update the titles if you can to have dash like handcrafted glass. Is it called glasswork? Sorry, I'm not familiar with like this at all. So this would be something that you go into keyword research. Like, is it what are people calling these things? Ornaments. So I add in there like it's glasswork, and once again, clear icicle ornaments, handcrafted. Like they don't have to be the same for each page, but like handcrafted glass or hand whatever glass or fused glass or whatever, things like that. Do we have something else? Should we move on to a different site or one more?
I think we have time for maybe one more.
Have a comment again. GoDaddy SEO for local NGOs, but I think it was one of the first comments too, or is it just moving back down?
I don't know. I think it
Oh
just
no,
hit me.
that's the earliest one. I'm confused.
Yeah, no, it confused me too. Yeah, he's not in here.
Okay, all right. So yeah, ideally someone who is on the call still.
Yeah. Relocate Montgomery.
Okay. Real estate office, but also have rentals, Airbnb properties.
Dang.
I just closing out all the other stuff. All right, so here we have buy, sell, invest, real estate. Okay. Um, that's fine, but I'm assuming you're are in a specific area, or is it nationwide? Specializing in Montgomery. So yeah, you could say buy, sell, invest Montgomery real estate. I mean, this is you could at least put comments or something in there to and invest in Montgomery real estate, locally owned and operated real estate brokerage, land, homes, and investing. Okay, so like this just seems like your keyword stuff in here, so get rid of that. Like if use all the space you have to compel people to click through, not to, well, I think this will help me rank with Google. Like the idea is to, yes, you want to rank, yes, you want to use keywords, but you need to do it in a way that pulls people into like, yes, this is what I'm searching for. This is a person. Like, so like, why should I trust you? I like that locally owned. That could be a thing and operated. So that I think that's great. You have that one in there. But is there another reason? Like, you could just delete this, or is there another reason I should be trusting you here? X number of years of experience. And once again, I'd put your city area here in the title, if or state. If you don't go beyond your state or whatnot, then it doesn't make sense to keep it so general. Comes to rentals, I mean, when it okay, so here you have your company name first. You can throw that at the end of the title each time. You don't need to have it at the beginning. Once again, the thing that appears at the beginning is basically the keyword you should be optimizing for. And this is, I mean, this is focusing on so much. So figure out what you want. Do you want this to be short-term property rental? Like you might need a separate page for corporate and executive rentals. If this is truly just furnished rentals, like let's short-term property rental and furnished rentals. But probably it's going to be, you want to put your name of short-term property rentals furnished. These are general, so you'd probably actually want to have your city name or area in the page and have a page created around your specific area and not just general short-term property rentals, furnished rentals. But you can see here furnished rentals have higher cert than short-term properties, so maybe that's, but then let's just throw Montgomery in there. But this is what keyword research is important for, like figuring out. Okay, and then okay, those don't have enough search for Google to, doesn't mean they don't have search, it's just Google's not reporting search for these. But we saw that furnished rentals previously had more than short term, so maybe you focus this page on furnished rentals, or you could have furnished short term rentals in Montgomery. That could be your title. Like you have your your location, you have the furnished, and then if you still want to do corporate and executive, I kind of feel like that's a different intent than someone looking to do a short-term property rental. Maybe not, but like that could be a separate page, of corporate and executive rentals. And this fully furnished rentals, so this is just kind of a repetition of your title, so it's a little boring. Like the description should be used to compel someone to click through. Why choose you over someone else who's showing up in the listing? So this could be something where you do a search, see what showing up competitors are doing as their like reason to believe, reason to click through, and do think that's something unique to what makes you unique. Why 5-star rated on, I don't know, on what, or A+ BBB rating, something like that. Like anything that would, why should you choose you over anyone else? Look at the headings. Oh, interesting. So it's furnished rentals is your URL, right? Which is great since that's the keyword that had the most search. But then you have the H1B corporate and executive, even though your title tag was like looking at short term first before that. So this page is like sending all kinds of mixed signal with furnished short term and then corporate in the header. So once again, do one page for corporate heading. The H1 should be reiteration kind of the title, just a little bit shorter. So in this case, furnished rentals. Are they luxury? Are they high end? You could throw an adjective in there if you want. And then the additional information is fine. What would be interesting is to see, maybe you create a couple different pages. You have your corporate page, executive page, you have this page. Have one of these be super brief, and then maybe have the executive page have more information, more copy, more content, and see which one performs better. Like, are people looking for brevity, or are you getting better results when you give like more detailed photos of example houses and stuff, like in addition to the Instagram? But like I would test different layouts and designs to see how people interact with the pages differently. And then maybe you roll out that style. Oh no, people like the brevity, we'll keep it short. We're not going to have long form content for these pages. Or wow, people really like to scroll and learn more about these before they contact us, so we'll have a longer form page. All right. Anything else?
That's gonna I hate saying that, but I think that's gonna have to be it for the day. Some okay. No, thank you all, like I know, Sarah, I was, like, taking screenshots in here, there's so many, like, nice comments.
Oh,
Y'all are y'all are so amazing.
yes. Thank you all so much for participating, for interacting with us. It's fun to always take a look at all these different sites and see all the different things that people are doing and the different stages that you're at with your businesses.
Really
So
is. And a huge thank you to Sarah, like, I'm clapping for her right now, like, just wanna say thank you. Y'all, she not only brought the knowledge, but, like, then jumped in and, like, gave some amazing feedback for all of you, so I hope you all, like, take this, you apply it, and just wanna say a huge thank you for everyone that came out today. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to join us for this webinar, and hopefully that you got to take something away from this and apply it to your business. If that's not today, maybe it's this weekend. I'm gonna drop the doc again into the chat box for y'all, and please make sure that you bookmark this, you save it. Sarah put these together and it's just amazing. It's informative. It's super helpful. And just want to say a huge thank you, not only to Sarah, but a huge thank you to all of you to also be brave and volunteer your sites to get critiqued as well. So just thank you all so much for being a great audience and being active in this as well. And we appreciate you all.